Coach, congratulations on today's win. If you'd like to start with an opening statement, we'll go into questions from our media members on the call.
Yeah, just proud of our football team, proud of our finish. So many guys contributed to today's victory. It was just great to see, and really just comprehensive. I defensively played the run great, which is what they do best. Offensively, I mean, what can you say about, again, Van Dyke and to see Harley and Rambo set records that have stood for a long time and probably will stand for a long time. It's just great testament to everything we're doing on offensively, and got to give the offensive line credit. Blocking Tyler, had all day back there a bunch of times, and just like I said, I'm just really happy for the effort that our guys came out with today. And again, it's as a coach, see it 12 weeks out of 12, guys are bringing it, playing for each other. A lot of love in that locker room right now. It's a great scene for who we are, celebrating who we are as a team. So with that, I'll open up with questions.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, we're going to start with Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the victory. Obviously, I know a lot of happy people in there, but you got to get to work, I guess, when you get back on the recruiting class, just kind of what your thought process is now that the regular season is over with, and what you attack sort of first here.
Yeah, you're right, Manny. We jump right on the road tomorrow. We'll be in a couple homes. I'll be in a couple homes tomorrow. Coaches will be hitting the road, some near, some far. And it's really a 2.5 week sprint to signing day, to Wednesday, that Wednesday. So, it's really important. Like I think, again, the response that we've been getting in the last couple of weeks has been really, really positive from the guys we have. And now we got to finish.
And if I could, as a quick follow, just what did you enjoy most today? Maybe about the defensive effort. I know they scored on the kick return, but overall defensively, what did you enjoy the most? It
just felt like up front, we really got after them. They're good at running the football. And obviously Durant, set the record today and has been one of the top 10 running backs in rush yards all season. So they were a real threat and a real challenge. And it just felt like once we kind of got dialed in after that first series, they struggled to get back to the line of scrimmage. And so again, I think our front four, I thought the linebackers all played very well. Great to see a guy like Chase Smith pop through there on a fourth down stop. Fourth down was a crazy thing today. We stopped 3 and we converted 3. So just that's why, to me, it's just so many guys contributing. That's the part that just made today a lot of fun to watch.
Coach, we'll go next to Gary Furman from Kane Sport. Gary, go ahead.
Hey, Manny, how are you? Congratulations on the win today.
Thank you, Gary.
Obviously, what all the talk and speculation that's been going on behind the scenes wasn't. You weren't in the bubble the last week and a half, and I know a lot of it has filtered to you. Now that the season is over, can you talk a little candidly about what has or what has not been said to you and the outlook from here on out in terms of the future?
Gary, all I know is that every week we've been on a 1 week mission, and the mission this week was to beat Duke. What I'm proud of is I'm proud of those guys in that locker room. I'm proud of how all in they are for this program. To do what they've been able to do and finish the year the way we've been able to finish. You look at the young guys out on that field making plays today, and there's a hunger. They know that this is not the end. This is the beginning. It's about to get really, really good, and they sense that. They know the mistakes that we've made this year. We all own it. But to look at the adversity that we've looked at in the eye every week, and for these guys to never flinch and week after week to bring it, they are all in. They're invested in this program. They want to fight for each other, and there's a hunger that they have right now that we just talked about that's going to last throughout this entire off season. So, like I said, to me, if it's about the guys in that locker room, and they'd have a chance if they weren't all in. You would see it with how they play, and that's not the case. This team is united. This team will fight for each other, and they're unique because it's hard to find a group of guys with the negativity or whatever it is that you mentioned that don't flinch. And they've been unwavering in their effort. They've been unwavering in their attitude. And that just to me means that the foundation is set. You see the young talent start to grow, and they're learning and they're getting experience. In the hunger that those guys have now, you talk to them individually one-on-one, it's real. And they're ready to do special things.
Have you definitively been told that you will be back?
That's not, no, because all I've been told is, hey, let's go win a football game. That's it. That's all I've been focusing on, Gary. That's the thing that matters right now. Everything else has been out of my control, so it wasn't really worth worrying about. And I think that's the whole point of why the team has been able to finish the way that we've been able to finish. We've been able to identify every week what is in front of us right now. Where are our feet at, and let's win where our feet are at. And like I said, I think that's why they've shown the resiliency, and the mental toughness to be able to win 5 out of 6 and turn 2-4 to 7-5. We're not happy with 7-5, but for where we were and where we're going, I think everybody understands that this is, the way we finish is beyond putting a number up for this year. And we're not done yet. We have a bowl game that we got to go win. But this is for the future. And if you can't see what the future looks like out on that field today, I mean, it's screaming at you.
Thank you.
Coach, we'll go next to Tim Reynolds from the Associated Press. Tim, go ahead.
Manny, I would never try to get you with a gotcha question. So in full disclosure, knowing that nothing has been announced, can you speak to what Rhett Lashley has meant to you and his program the last couple of years?
Well, what we have is we have a system. We have an offensive system at Miami, which I think, you see the records that were set. We've talked forever about bringing the spread to Miami, and it's here. And I think you see the results. Van Dyke in the 300-yard passing games. That's it's almost becoming expected, and it shouldn't be expected with a freshman quarterback. I think the things that Tyler has been able to do this year make something look easy that's not easy to do. And that's where we want our program to be. I think it's great to recruit quarterbacks too. I mean, just look at what our quarterback room. It's funny. I think about when I was sitting here 2 years ago, and where this program was in 2019, where our quarterback room was. It was a big fixer-upper. And I think Rhett Lashley's got a great hand, and first bringing Derek King here, bringing a system that quarterbacks want to play in. We think we've got a quarterback room that is. We wouldn't trade with any other one in the country, and the way we're recruiting quarterbacks down the line, we're very excited about the guys that are still to join our program. So if you got a quarterback, you have a chance. And a big key to that is you got to have a system that they want to come play in. I think we have that now. That is the Miami system of offense. That's what we will be. And then the last thing I'll just say is that Rhett Lashley's a phenomenal person to have on your staff, and Rhett's a great person. And like I said, he's been great to help be a part of transforming this football program.
Manny, a quick follow. I know you said you have some home visits tomorrow, and I imagine that continues throughout the week or whatever is allowed under recruiting rules. Are most of the in-house decisions made? Like, have you talked to the guys who will have decisions to make between now and the bowl game, if they're going to keep going, if they're opting out, if they're opting in, or does that window kind of start now too? With
our guys, that starts now. You're really not going to discuss that, before this point. Sometimes it depends on where you go and who you play. There's a lot to it, so we'll kind of, I think some of that will happen this week. Usually there's no rush. I think some of that you'll find out the following week when our destination becomes clear.
Thank you.
Got a couple more for you, Coach. We'll go to Kobe Price at the Sun Sentinel. Kobe, go ahead.
Thanks, Cam. Congrats, Manny, on the win. A couple questions for me. One, I know Lou, I couldn't tell the pregame. They said nagging injury, neck injury. I guess what was happening with them that kept him out the game?
Yeah, Lou's got a lower body injury that just needed a few weeks of rest. Lou's planning to come back for the bowl game, but it was great to see Matthias Gast with a bomb there at the end. And Nelson Foley got a one out against heavy pressure of 40-yarder. So we felt good about our punting depth, but it was kind of weird. It's been a long time since we've played a game without Louis Headley as our punter. So.
Yeah, I think it was like 35 straight games or something along those lines. My second question was, we've asked you a lot, obviously, about, whatever you have or have not been told, but I guess, do you feel secure? Do you feel secure in your current role at Miami?
I feel secure in how that football team played today. I feel secure in the reactions of the players in our locker room. I feel secure that those guys are bought into our program. And like I said, that's all I can control is the people that I've been blessed with the opportunity to lead day in and day out, and that hear the messaging day in and day out, and go through the drills and the way they practice and the way they do their workouts. And that's been our circle. If we would have thought about other things, this would have fallen apart in a way that you see in other places around the country. So I'm just, like I said, I'm pleased by the vote of the guys in that locker room. You can see the genuine joy for each other, the way that they love playing. It was a difficult environment today. There's not a lot of energy in that stadium. The way that we brought energy, the way that we competed, guys, and you see at the end of the game when you see the young guys rooting for the young guys in the game. We got some walk-ons in there at the end. There was a lot of love on that sideline today, and a lot of love in that locker room after the game.
Coach, last question for you will come from Susan Miller-Degnan. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Manny. Congratulations. Exciting game. Tyler Van Dyke, you talked about him a little bit. Unbelievable performance. And Rambo and Harley, what they did today, also breaking school records. Can you expound on that a little? And I did want to ask you a follow-up, too.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm glad you asked, because it bears worth mentioning that Duke played a defense today that they hadn't played all year. They went to an odd free safety look that was completely out of character for the way they have played anybody else this season. So that was the first play of the game. You're like, holy cow, what are they doing? It was like a brand new team showed up. So that's why I mentioned earlier about making things that look easy that aren't easy to do. For a guy like Tyler Van Dyke, if you spend all your week in film study, all your weekend prepared on, okay, here's their cover 4 look, here's their cover 1 look, here's their blitzes and whatnot, and for them to show up in a completely different structure, that's and to still go for 381 and 3 touchdowns against no interceptions, that is special now. That's really special. And what it shows is that the respect that people have for Tyler and Harley and Rambo and the explosive nature. And obviously, I think Duke was trying as much as possible try to keep the ball in front, to keep our explosive nature and make us drive the ball, which we were able to do. We kicked a few field goals where we would have preferred to have some touchdowns. But again, just to be able to adjust on the fly and be able to have the answers, and Tyler to know where to go with the ball, because he was having to go through his progressions. There wasn't a tip or a tell by what they're doing coverage wise, because they had all these DBs running around all over the place and you couldn't really tell. So very impressive for those guys. But then when you have guys like Harley and Rambo, you want to talk about they combined for however many catches today, 30, holy cow. No, 30 targets, 21 catches. I don't know how many of those catches were like highlight catches. Mike makes a great sliding catch on a 4th down. Rambo, the one in the corner of the end zone on the fade, that's like absurd. And I think he had another one that was just crazy. I keep saying it all year. Charleston Rambo is all ACC, if not all American candidate. What a year he's had. And when he kind of got his feet wet in September and getting comfortable with what we're doing offensively and sort of Coach Likens, teaching, his emergence changed our offense. And now when you see young guys like Keyshawn Smith and Jacoby George and Rashard and Romello being able to come up behind guys like Rambo and Harley, that's a transformed wide receiver room, like it's a transformed quarterback room. And like I said, these guys are going to be fun to watch for years to come.
And thanks, Manny. And also Tyreek Stevenson, I know he was sidelined, I guess, with an injury, and Jake Garcia was here, and he looked like he wasn't wearing a boot today. Might Jake be back for a bowl game, and what's Tyreek's status?
Yeah, Tyreek, the shoulder that knocked him out of the game last week just wasn't well enough to be able to get into the game, today. So we were missing him. We were missing John Ford with an ankle. That's the same thing. It's just, he might have been 2 more days away. So we missed John. Obviously, we're missing James. Jake is out of the boot. Like you said, I don't, the bowl game, I'm not sure. We'll have to see when that bowl game is, and if it'd be safe for him to sort of get back into, drops and the type of things you need to go play quarterback. So, but we want Jake to travel, because we just want Jake to go through the meetings, go through the preparation, and prepare himself like he's a starter. So that, again, he can understand the experience of going on the road, knowing where these hotels are. And I know it sounds crazy, but there's a familiarity when you're on the road in the ACC and getting to see all these places, where the play clock is, stuff like that. It'll help him down the road as well.
Manny, well, one more thing. Do you know when they start practicing for a bowl game? Because
When we'll start bowl practice?
Yeah, because I figure they have finals and things like that.
Yeah, we have a week of school coming up now. We got to finish strong. We'll lift weights 3 times this week. We'll have a quick practice next Saturday. While we've got an official visit weekend going on, we really got another week of recruiting. Yeah, Susan, you got to think about it. We're all, the coaches are all out recruiting, so we can kind of have another practice on the weekend, and then once it goes to the dead period, the 3rd weekend in December, then we can start to kind of really dive in on the opponent and lay out the practices. It depends again on what day in December your bowl game is, how our calendar will go from there.
Thank you.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.